Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. I am still T Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It is still in the description below. It is still your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Reach out to me for pricing. I am T Mosso at thewatchbox.com. Today we discuss a 2023 launch from Tag Heuer. This is the Carrera Skipper, and it features the modern glass box profile that has made these watches so distinctive in just the last year. So this is a throwback to the early 1970s Carrera-based Skipper 7754. The watch is regatta themed, and as much as it's a retro throwback, it is very modern in fit, finish, materials, and movement. It also has a wonderful size in steel. At 39 millimeters, it's easy to wear, 14 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, a wonderfully compact 45.7 millimeters. And while I measure the lugs at 20.5 millimeters from horn to horn, the strap that's in there is 20 millimeters. So if you want to accessorize, that is the strap size you're going to use. We'll throw this watch on the wrist, and on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it is a super easy fit. You can see down the barrel, the lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. While the watch is 14 millimeters thick, a lot of that is that crazy sloped glass box crystal, so it will actually slide underneath most shirt sleeves. You can see from over the top, even pulling the watch tight at an angle that always exaggerates the width of the watch. The lugs on each side are far inboard of the edge of my wrist, so I think this watch would wear well on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Calfskin strap. You can see it has a Tag Heuer shield-like faceting at the end. You can see it's very much like the company logo, which is echoed in the buckle, on the buckle, and then on the dial, and that's definitely the intention here. You'll note that it's calfskin on the top, it's calfskin on the bottom, and there are no perforations, as we have a crimping clasp that requires no perforations, meaning the adjustability is effectively infinite, and you're not going to gouge all of those little perforations by setting the watch to size. Now, it's a blue strap, matte finish. It's got a monotone stitch and a sheer cut side that shows you the layers of leather. That buckle, we may as well take a closer look. You can see it features a combination of polish and satin externally. Nice attention to detail. And then the fastening on the end, it opens up, single fold to point. You have to press both triggers to open it. You feed the strap through, it crimps down, locks the strap in place, and then there's no need for minder loops. So you can see no minder loops. These are minder loops. This watch doesn't need them. The case is fascinating for a couple of reasons. First, there's almost no bezel. Particularly when viewed from the front, the watch has almost as broad a dial as something like a Resonance. You can also see it's a monoblock case, as the lugs, the case, and the bezel, what there is of it, are all one single block of metal. Everything loads through the screwed-in case back. The movement, the dial, it all goes through the back, so up top it's super seamless. We have those signature thrusting angular Carrera-style lugs, although this is a different take on them, a little bit more pointed, and these have been part of every Carrera design since the first in 1963. We've got a contrast between polish and satin, so it doesn't have undifferentiated metal. You can see even the pushers feature a combination of satin and polished finish. We've got the Tag Heuer logo on the crown. It is a push-down crown, though. The watch is 100 meters water resistant. We have this wonderful glass box profile, and that is exactly what it seems. A dramatically domed bubble-like crystal. You can see we have a dial that is actually curved outboard to match the arc of the crystal. So it's convex outboard, but then it's concave inboard, where it slopes down like a bowl to the center dial. Now we have a sort of circular satin blue metallic finish to this dial. We have applique rhodium-plated steel indices, and you can see how they sort of span the dial to the chapter ring outboard, and they're somewhat countersunk into that concave profile. They give the dial excellent definition and an upscale sheen, along with these polished chapter rings to the chronograph hours and chronograph minutes. We do have running seconds, though it's muted and easy to miss down at 6 o'clock, giving the watch a twin register look like a vintage chronograph. We'll do a loom shot here so you can see the watch in the dark. Now, it's nautically themed, not so much something for racing at night, but I suppose you could use the watch at night. Taking a quick look at some of the subsidiary setting features. features. We do have a hacking seconds function, so you can stop the watch and set it to a reference time. We also have a quick set for the date should you need to cycle the date. Now, the watch features a regatta-style layout, so there have been many Heuer Skippers over the years, but again, this really is a 7754 tribute. So we have this 3-segment, 15-minute countdown for the minutes register. So it's a 15-minute register, and it's designed to be read backwards because the 15-minute countdown and the last 5 in particular are critical to the start of a match, which is basically one race within a regatta. So this is a countdown chronograph, though it will function superbly for other purposes. Rolling to the reverse, you can see this is a version of the Heuer 02, and the nomenclature here is TH20-06, but you still get all that wonderful Heuer 02 tech. So automatic winding, 80-hour power reserve. You can see a column wheel. It's a very crisp feeling and sounding column wheel. And we have a vertical clutch here so that it always engages without any jump or stagger. And if you just like having running seconds, you can leave it running because due to the fact that there is seamless engagement in a vertical clutch, you can leave it running without wearing down the movement. 33 joules, 4 hertz beat rate. The finish is mostly mechanical. You can see the Tag Heuer shield in the rotor, but it's attractive and it's worth looking at. Like if I had a choice between a solid case back here and the ability to see the movement, I like this movement. Technically speaking, it's a cut above what's standard in the industry, especially where power reserve is considered with 80 hours. This is a good looking and cool movement that adds up to tremendous value in a very attractive watch. If you love this watch, reach out. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.